Good morning, Flosstube. It's Dina from Cartersville, Georgia. It is Sunday, October 22nd. Um, Beautiful Sunday. It's been 3 weeks since my last video. And when I filmed my last video, I'd been sort of on a hiatus from stitching, hadn't done much. And then the last 3 weeks have been absolutely crazy. So I actually have a lot to share today. So it'll be fun. Thanks for all the great comments um, about my hair. I really appreciate it. It's still growing on me. No, this was not my intent to do this. But my hair is very thick and it grows very fast. So it takes a lot of updating of constant trims, color, and it gets expensive. And so I thought I would save on the coloring. Instead of me paying someone to do it, I would start to do it myself. And so, because I can't cut my own hair, so I've got to get it cut. So I thought, okay, I can at least save on the color. So I just went to the store and bought a bottle of light brown L'Oreal Feria or something like that. And I thought, okay, I'll just cover everything up. I'll be light brown. And when I did, and I washed my hair and I started to dry it, and I thought, this looks purple. And so every part that had blonde streaks in it had turned a very ugly color of purple. Sort of an ashy gray purple. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And so it was around 7 o'clock on a weeknight. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to call in sick to work tomorrow. I can't go to school with this purple hair. And there's no place that's going to do your hair color at 7 o'clock on a weeknight. So I called my daughter-in-law, and I'm like, all right, how do I get rid of purple? It's an ugly purple. And she said, well, color theory, if you want to go to brown to cover up purple, orange and purple make brown. So you're going to have to go with an orange or red. If you just try to do brown again, the purple's still going to stay there. So that is how this came about. So anyway, I'm starting to get used to it a little bit. It is, yeah, it's really bright. But yeah, thanks. It's one of my friends said, just own it. Just go with it and own it. So I'm trying my best. It's just very different for me. Okay, so enough of that. You may see my adopted kitty cat poke her head up every once in a while. She's over here laying down next to me. So let me fill you in on everything that's happened. First, yesterday I had a bunch of stitchy friends over. Hubby was out of town in New York, so I thought, okay, well, we're gonna party it up, cross stitch style. So several people came over. So Dina Half Stitch came over, and we've always called her Dina from the South because I'm Dina from the North because I live in the north part of Georgia and she lives in the South. Well, now she's moving up here closer to me, so I still claim Dina from the North, and she's going to be Dina from the Northeast. So Dina was here. Diana, It Is Kismet Stitches, came over. Deb and Caroline were over. Stephanie and Shelley, Janet, A Needle in Time, and Amelia Newcomer were going to come over, and both of them were not feeling well. And then Emily, Eclectic Possessions, stopped by for a little bit. So it's just fun. It's fun having all of these friends fairly close by. And I had turned on the TV to YouTube and just put Flosstube and just randomly let the TV play Flosstube throughout the day. And so it was funny because when people were arriving, someone's Flosstube was up and they were talking about Amelia Newcomer, who was supposed to come over. So it was like, oh my gosh, she's here, sort of. At least people are talking about her on the screen. And then another part of the day, Dina was sitting over in the chair that she always sits in, and she's stitching away. And then all of a sudden, her face pops up on the big screen. So YouTube had found her video and was playing it. So that was sort of fun to see. So anyway, I just went to Costco, bought some chicken salad and some croissants and made sandwiches and People brought chips and broccoli salad and tea and brownies, and so it was just easy to get together and stitch all day. And so let me show you. I did not expect anything. I just want to have fun. And so let me share with you what my stitchy friends brought me. And so Stephanie is learning to crochet, and so she made me this adorable crochet dish rag. And so I can't wait to start using it. I mean, how fun is that? That, to me, it just screams like rainbow sherbet. Absolutely sweet as can be. Makes me want to crochet some. And it's nice and scrunchy, so you can, I think, scrub some pans really, really good if I were to cook. But anyway, so, oh, that was so sweet. I love it. And then Caroline brought me a lantern, which I think is so sweet. And so I've put it on my front entry table next to my Halloween cross stitch that I've got sitting up there. And she also brought some catnip mice for Kitty Cat. And then Dina brought me, oh no, I've lost it. It could be the cat is laying on it. There, that's what was happening. The cat was laying on it. I'd never seen this. So it is a Frogger. So if you have to rip out stitches, so you got your little frog, and it's a sort of a blunter tip needle. And so it makes it easy to frog. And I don't know, maybe she cursed me because I was working on a project and immediately had to frog it once I received this. But I think the spell has been broken because I haven't had to frog since. But I absolutely love this. What a great, great idea. So anyway, so it was a lot of fun. Beautiful fall weather. We had the windows open. Just great day. All right, so let me show you what I've been working on. So last time I talked about my Victoria Sampler Pumpkin Patch Farm, and I said I didn't have enough fabric, and I was just going to cut it off. And so that's what I did. And so this is one of my Goodwill frames. It was $1.91. I think the price is still on the back of it. And so, yeah, I think the white mat that was in here picks up the white of the house just fine. And once I tried it out, I realized I wasn't going to have room to stitch anything, so I just left it as is. I think it looks great. And so we have a Goodwill in town. It's not terribly big, but I go in there once a month and just look through their frames. And if I see anything that looks interesting or an odd size that I might need, I just pick it up, you know, $1 or $2 here or there. And I just have a stash of frames. So that's that. Another thing I was working on last time was Hey There Pumpkin. So I finished it and just framed it out in this Walmart frame, $2.90-something, not much. And my framing is horrendous. I mean, all I did was I took the glass that was in the frame and I wrapped the linen around it, taped it down. No, I shouldn't do that. Taped it down and called it done. But if I don't do that, you know, really bad framing job of mine, then I'll never get it done. It'll just sit and not be appreciated in a drawer somewhere. So I'd rather at least, you know, halfway do it and have it out to enjoy. And, you know, it's good enough for me. It works. So there's that. And this one I forgot to show last time, and I finished it, but I had to frame it. And this one I might have to redo the framing because it is bad. So a few weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, it was whenever the Flosstube retreat was going on, I went to a quilt shop in Marietta. It's called Tiny Stitches. And this is the quilt shop that hosts my Cross Stitch Guild's monthly meetings. And so they have a little tiny section of cross stitch in the store. Not much, but I can go in and get some threads, and, you know, they have a few patterns. They have a nice selection of patterns. They get, you know, it's pretty current stuff. And so they had a Halloween stitch in where you had your choice of 3 patterns, and it was all the supplies you needed for the patterns. So it was the threads and the linen and the pattern itself. And they had lunch and snacks. And so almost, I think we started at 10 in the morning, maybe it went from 10 to 4. By the time I left, I almost had this completely stitched. So it was a very quick stitch. The lady that hosted it, she had done a murder mystery, and she had clues posted around the room. And when you found a clue, we had a big board to put them all on. And I think it was, I can't remember, it was about copyright infringement, and needlework designers were the suspects. So it was very, very cute. And again, just another, I think this is a Hobby Lobby frame. So what I had thought about doing to center it over some was to drop a couple of more spiders down, but I couldn't find any more of these little buttons. It was a flat black small button. I found some shiny small buttons, but they're a little bit bigger, and I wanted them the exact same size. But I thought about doing 2 more spiders, and so once I take this out and reframe it, I may do that. Probably not, but the idea is there. And so that came from this pattern, the Drawn Thread. So they've got a few different ones. That was the one I did, and they've got like this little bookmark and a little scissor fob. So yeah. And then they had a door prize, several door prizes. And so this is a door prize that I won. Would you rather be stitching? Of course. So it holds your flosses. And then this is a needle minder that it's got a magnet on the back. So, so yeah, I thought that was really cute. I've never allowed a Ouija board in my house. Sort of superstitious about that. But this isn't really a Ouija board, so I'm cool with that. And of course, it always stays on yes. Can't go to the other side. So, would you rather be stitching? All right, and so I thought I'd share this with you because I bought this a few weeks ago at Bullock Hall when they had the cross-stitch sampler exhibit. And they had a little room set up with lots of stitchy stuff. And I bought this, and it had a scissor fob with it too. And I didn't know what it was, but it was only $10. And I was amazed at the handwork on this. I mean, this is to do these hexagons and sew them down, and this is felt. Well, I think it's got little ties. I think it's really supposed to be like a needle case, but I've discovered it's the perfect travel ort container because your threads are going to stick to that felt. And so sometimes I have an ort jar near me, but I'm too lazy to reach for it because I'm all situated in my chair just right. And this is perfect. Just put the threads on there. And so even like if you're traveling, this goes in your purse so nice and easy, and you can stick your needles in it. So, I mean, this is just basically 2 pieces of round felt sewn together, whip stitched together. I don't know if she did that by hand or machine, probably machine on that one. And then she's got some ribbons, that she sandwiched between. And you wouldn't have to do anything fancy like that. Or you could cross stitch something. That'd be fun. So I loved that. I thought that was a really clever idea once I knew what it was for. All right, and then the cross stitch guild that I'm a member of, everyone well, you don't have to. You choose a journey piece for yourself. And so it should be a piece that challenges you. Maybe it's something that you've started and it's just a struggle to finish. Maybe it's an epic project, something you've always wanted to do. And so you contract with yourself. You have from October to January to decide what you're going to contract with yourself. And then you need to finish it by the October meeting to meet your obligation. And so what I decided to do was work on a piece that has been in my to-do list for pretty much forever. And so I started stitching in the 80s, late 80s, mid to late 80s. And this was back in the day when Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine came out. And I look back at these and they had such incredible patterns. Absolutely love them all. And so this is the November-December 91 issue. And I have forever wanted to stitch this. The Santas of Fable and Fantasy. Now, it's stitched on linen, and I had no idea what linen was at the time. I mean, this was 91. I was using Aida. 12 count Aida, probably. And I could only get white. You know, I didn't know that you could order stuff. You know, we didn't have the internet back then. So this has just always been on my to-do list. And since it's the Sampler Guild, I thought, you know what? This is a sampler. It's got my alphabet. It's got my numbers. It's something that I've always wanted to do and have not done it. So that is what I decided my journey piece was going to be. And so that is what I started stitching yesterday. And so let me pull it over. It's on my lap frame that I love. The Elan lap frame. I adore it. And using my lock scrolls. Oh, hang on. There's the cat. All right, there we go. And so I started it yesterday, and I think I got a pretty decent amount of it done. Yeah, so I'm working on my that top border. It uses Krynic, but I had some Rainbow Gallery or something, so I just changed that out. And so then maybe today during football I can fill this in because that's just a solid color, so I don't have to do any counting on that. But yeah, I am very pleased with my progress on that. And then one last thing to share today. I was digging through stuff to find my pattern for that Santas of Fable and Fantasy is what it's called. And I found this that I had done in 2012. I haven't framed it. Just put it in the plastic. And so I think it might be Sue Hollis. She has a bunch of Santas. And so yeah, so I've got some stuff to drop off at Goodwill today. And so I may see if there's a frame that's appropriate for this. I think I'm going to try to find like a burgundy frame because it will sit out at Christmas time. And so I don't decorate blue at Christmas. So I think a burgundy frame would be a very nice one. Pick up the reds in that. So anyway, one more thing to show you. I also got this. Let me find something to hold it up against. I got this at the Halloween Stitch-In. And so it's a needle threader, which I'd never seen one like this before. Now, I can break a needle threader in under 2 seconds flat. And so this one, so far, has been amazing. It's got a little magnet on it. I'm trying to get it where y'all can see. I haven't broken it. I love it. And so I may try to find another one. I don't know who made it. But I may try to find another one as a backup plan for when and if I do break this one. But it seems to be like pretty well glued together on the back. Put it in front of my shirt so you can see. So yeah, that was a great little deal. So between my little Frogger, my new little needle threader, life is good. Stitching is back. So hope y'all have a great few weeks of stitching. I'll probably be back around Thanksgiving. That's another time when I've got a little bit of a break. And let's see what I've got done by then. All right, y'all take care. Bye.